So one of the first things I do every single morning is grab this, start doing it. So there's 3 parts to this journal. It's firstly specific things I'm actually grateful for. Once I got the things I'm grateful for, and then I get into things that make today a great day. Then after I get into the things that make today a great day, I do the daily affirmation. So let's do it. As you can see here, this is essentially our community channel. On the left hand side, you'll basically see every single person that's sending me a one-on-one message that's come in overnight. And then in the middle, you got the community channel now. Every single one of these people are at different levels with their Amazon business, so it's always important to wear different hats and speak to every student in a different way. So that way I'm catering to their learning and where they are in the process. So let's get to answering those. But first thing first, checking the members win channel as well. Someone dropped this at around 9:18 p.m. This was Elon, actually. Let's see if that could focus. So that was about $10,000 in a day. Yeah, I was able to do. And like he said here, specifically first 10K day, not in the 40th quarter. So that's always fun to see, waking up to student messages like that. That's awesome. But let's get to these messages that we have here. So one of the biggest things about running a coaching program that's efficient, that doesn't take up too much time, and that I'm providing people with actual value, is having replicable resources that people can utilize, because there's always going to be recurring questions. There's always going to be certain things that people are like, well, I don't understand this, and I don't understand that. So what we implemented inside of the program is something called Master Hours now. Master Hours are every Tuesday from about 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And these are new weekly live sessions that we do once every single week inside of the community. But what they're there for is to handle the most common questions we receive as coaches on a week-over-week perspective. And how can we make sure that it's a resource people can always reference to ensure it doesn't happen again? So let me show you this. So this is essentially our Master Hour vault. Now this is a vault of about hundreds of different recordings that we have done over the years. Now, most recently, we talked about the Amazon product listing checklist. Okay, so essentially everything people need to know before going into listing a product for their Amazon business. So you got the Zoom call recording link, and then I'll always push out a specific document like this, and this document will help people understand, what exactly they need to go through for every single product that they want to list on their Amazon store, from, IP, brand safety checks, to listing opportunities, understanding the listing quality, the bestseller rank, and then the profitability analysis, of course. So, we've got one student here that's asking a specific question around the idea of understanding what goes into a product, how to know what the BSR should be, the profitability should look like. And again, this is a very helpful resource for me as a coach, because I can be able to make sure that their questions are being answered at a very in-depth level by me explaining it to them. But also I have a full-on step-by-step video that we literally did last week that explains to them what goes into the perfect product, so that way they can have something that they can work off and say X, Y, and Z. If a product has X, Y, and Z, I should go ahead and list it. So now that I cleared all my student messages, I was able to actually take a look at the members wins channel, see the amazing people inside of our community just absolutely crushing it with their Amazon business. And this is super inspiring to see. But this is essentially how today looks. Okay, so currently at 5 a.m. right now. Once I get back from the gym, I have a push day coming up. I'm going to do a little bit of deep work from 8 to 10 a.m. And then from 11 to about 6 p.m. we've got nonstop calls taking place. We've got student calls. We actually have a case study that's being done today with one of our students as well. And this is kind of like what a typical day looks like between me and my students, and having one-on-one calls with people. Again, it looks pretty packed out, but I am pretty structured and organized to make sure I'm not running into any particular issues. So this is what today's day looked like. Let me go ahead and finish off breakfast, and let's get over to the gym. breakfast done, student messages done, mapped out my day. Now let's go at the gym. It's super cold outside. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Yeah. 6:08. One of the things about these mornings is that I'm tired. I don't want to do it. And it is the hardest part of every single day that I'll always have to go through. But it always ends up being the most worth it. And I'm about to get into my best time of the day. This is something I look forward to every single day. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy it too. To the gym. So one of the questions I get a lot about my morning routine and I get questioned on a lot is like, aren't I tired, or does I feel like I want to go to bed and whatnot? I mean, yeah, in all honesty, I am tired. I am always going to be tired. I don't think that that's something that will ever stop happening, but at what cost, right? And I feel like over the last 4.5 years of me running this coaching program and me being able to coach over, so that's about 960-ish people at this date. My responsibility has grown far greater than anything than what I could have possibly imagined. And it's a good thing, but it's also kind of like, the downside, right? Is a lot of people rely on me and a lot of people will be asking me questions and whatnot, but that's what I signed up for at the end of the day, right? That's why I built this education company, is to teach other people how to build a successful Amazon business, much like what I've been able to do myself for the last 4.5 years to 5 years. And part of what makes, the mentorship and the program so different comparatively to everything else is like my willingness and my drive to make sure I am being available. I am showing up for my students. I am answering their questions at 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning and whatnot. So I am tired, and I'm always going to be tired, and that nothing's going to change about that. But it's well worth the sacrifice if I know that I'm providing people the support that they need to build and scale their new online businesses and to help them grow as new Amazon sellers, but also to help them, grow as individuals as well. And yes, for anybody wondering, there is indeed a snowstorm in Canada right now, which is awesome. It's actually a polar vortex is what they're calling it. Temperatures got to as bad as about like minus 35 or minus 37 degrees Celsius. And I know anybody watching this in the States is like, well, maybe do I live in Antarctica or something? Nope, I don't. I've been born and raised in Canada my whole life, so I'm kind of used to this, and driving in snowstorms like this, I mean, it's pretty normal. I guess you can say there's not anything I'm not used to. So, I mean, look, even driving at night, I say it's night, but it's actually the morning. It feels like it's nighttime. Driving in the morning or this early in the morning when it's pitch dark outside really doesn't make me want to do it anymore, because I feel like I just want to go to bed. I feel like it's still nighttime, like it's 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. and whatnot. And especially on days like today when it is indeed snowing, that makes everything look a lot darker than what it actually might be. So yes, it's even more difficult, and I have every single factor weighing against me in regards to why I shouldn't wake up earlier or why I should stay in bed. I have every reason to as to why I should, but I continuously find reasons as to what would 99% of other people do in circumstances like this. And when I know that 99% of other people won't wake up early, and 99% of other people will hit snooze on their alarm, 99% of other people aren't willing to go the miles that I'm willing to go to be able to make sure that they're setting their days out for success, then I know I'm on the right path, and I'd rather choose that action that the 1% of people would do rather than follow along with what 99% of other people will be willing to do. And we're here. Obviously, I'm not going to park all the way over there. The park is all the way down here, away from the people, so that way I'm not putting my precious car in any danger in any way, shape, or form. freezing cold outside. I constantly question why I live here. Workout is completely done. It was about an hour-long workout. Now is the hardest part of everything of every single day is the 32 minutes of zone 2 cardio, whether it be through the form of Stairmaster or whether it be through the form of incline treadmill. But now there's about 1,900 people on the treadmills, so no one's on the Stairmaster, so Stairmaster it is. I can barely talk and do cardio, so I'll talk to you after it's done. Workout done. Now time to head back, have some breakfast, and get ready for my first meeting of the day, which is about at 10 o'clock, which is a team meeting. And then the day starts. So look, the reality of the situation is, the only reason why I've been able to see a lot of success at a young age, not comparable to a lot of people that I'm surrounded with, but just in general, the only reason why I've been able to achieve more than what the average individual does is just because I do an unreasonable amount of work on a daily basis that makes it literally impossible for me not to succeed at whatever it is I put my fucking mind to. And whether that be business, whether that be health, whether that be anything that I actually care for and that I'm passionate about and I feel like will help me improve as an individual and become a better person, I go all in on it. And I don't give myself the opportunity to say, you know what, oh, if this doesn't work out, it's okay or whatnot. And that's the problem with so many people in today's day and age, is that like they're giving themselves a way out. They're giving themselves a plan B. They're giving themselves a fallout option. And when I lost my job as a valet during the pandemic, I had no money coming in and I wasn't able to, pay bills to a certain extent. And what that ended up meaning is I didn't have a plan B to fall back on, right? Because I ended up dropping out of university. So I didn't have anything that I could be able to actually do to say, you know what, if this doesn't work out, then I'm going to succeed and I'll still be okay. And when you give yourself that opportunity to say you have a follow-up plan, you have a backup option, although it might seem smart in a logical perspective, you also have to think about how much ferocity you approach a certain thing that you want to be able to accomplish from the lens of A, you giving yourself a plan B, from the lens of B, you giving yourself no plan B whatsoever. And what ends up happening is the most successful people at the end of the day are given no other choice. It's do or die for them. And that's what allows people to succeed within such a short period of time, is because majority of people do an unreasonable amount of work who are successful, and it's literally impossible for them not to succeed. But it's only because they're never giving themselves a fallout plan, or if this doesn't happen, then I can rely on that. So like at the end of the day, although it might be the scariest thing in the world for you not to give yourself that plan B, not to give yourself a way out, you have to make it a non-negotiable for you to
do the work that's necessary for you to do in order for you to be able to actually succeed, whatever it is, whether it's losing weight, whether it's making more money, whether it's starting that business. Give yourself a plan A and plan A only. And that's how exactly I run my education company for my students. Over the last 4.5 years, I truthfully don't have a fallout plan if a student doesn't succeed. It's either we win or we learn. And if we don't win, then we pivot in a direction in which we can be able to eventually take the appropriate actions so a new student can see success with their Amazon businesses.
All right, so first call of the day wrapped up. Really good call. Someone was interested in being part of the mentorship program. Let's see if they're going to be able to join or not. I don't entirely know. And it always comes down to really, when people book in calls and I have the opportunity to speak with them, it's really up to them. I never force a decision. These calls are not about pressure or anything like that. These calls are just giving people clarity, right? And the clarity that they need to ensure that they're actually knowing what they're going to get, the support that they receive, the steps, the guidance, the whole entire one-on-one. And it gives us the opportunity to also show them, the back end of everything in terms of how the program works, what the live community is like as well. So if you're watching this video right now and you're interested in being part of the mentorship program, you want to hear more in terms of what it's all about and what it looks like and how the coaching program works, you can go ahead and click the link in the description down below to apply to be a part of the mentorship program. So you can learn more, and hey, at the end of the day, the worst case scenario, you walk away and you get more clarity than what you previously had before. Now, next up, I've got one of my top performing students. We are actually doing a case study with her on her experience. She's a mom of 2 kids. She is based out of Canada. She's based out of Vancouver. And this is going to be a super duper inspiring story to share with everyone. So I will be releasing this case study here probably within the next week or so after filming this video. But this is someone that I've been working with for over a year. Someone that works a day-to-day job, someone that's very overwhelmed with having 2 kids, but yet she fails to make excuses in regards to why she shouldn't do this. And I'm not going to spoil too much, but throughout the last 12 months that we've been working together, she's been able to get to over 6 figures in total sales with her Amazon store, which is absolutely inspiring as someone who has a very hectic schedule, but also someone that's completely brand new to this space. And she's been able to build herself a true Amazon empire, to say the least, where she's only maybe putting about 3 to 4 hours of work a week into it because she's got it all automated. So that is going to be a case study. Definitely, I want to be able to make sure every single one of you, if it's not released yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification so that way you can get notified when I do got a new YouTube video coming out. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me find you. There you are. Alrighty. Long time no speak. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm not too bad. Happy New Year. I hope your family's doing well.
Thanks, yeah, we're hanging in there. It's been a busy go, but doing good.
Good. I'm happy. Well, I mean, look, here's the thing, right? The beautiful part about it is, and I've had this happen with another student as well. This perspective is very helpful. Like, it's not about the supplier, right? Like, everyone likes to feel like the supplier is the golden goose to a certain extent. But it's like, even without that supplier, you have the knowledge, right? Like, you have the tools, you have the resources, you have the experience to know, even if you go into a different area of expertise or a different supplier, let's say, same game, right? The game doesn't change.
Yeah, it's
right?
Fine. Like, I'm pretty sure did that other student get Home Depot back?
But it's just kind of like trying to work through it. And as you work through it, it also raises and exposes you and like, ooh, we're a one-legged stool, right? That's
exactly.
Kind of what it is.
We're two-legged. We use Walmart and Home Depot. Those are our most common. And for whatever reason, we just haven't had as much luck with Costco and Wayfair. We did this summer. Costco was our number one this summer, but it's just currently the season we're in. It's a lot of Home Depot. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. We'll get past that. That's like a small hurdle. I'm not too worried about. Like,
good.
And then honestly, I haven't ventured in a lot of other suppliers. I haven't honestly given my Amazon store a ton of time, so I'm ready to start that again. Like, started a new job in June, July rather, and there's a huge big, like, I'm the engineering manager of our entire refinery. Like, my job's insane. But, so I'm kind of getting used to that now, so I have more time again. So I'm stuck in level 4. I have 2 good VAs that I really trust and appreciate. They show up every week. They do a good job generally. The one VA that's my product researcher, I'm really impressed with her. Like, she has used ChatGPT to teach herself so much. She looks at all of our master hours.
Good.
She reads them. I get her to regurgitate back to me what she's learned. We've implemented coupons. We've implemented sales. We're getting there. The other lady is like not as great, but she's like just a workhorse. She will literally message Walmart every day for like 25 days until we get a refund that we deserve. So she gets it done.
I love it.
So I love them both. I guess I want to double my story this year. I did 183 last year. I want to do 400 to 500 this year. Obviously, we're starting off way better. I sold only 11 months last year, so I'm already better this, January. But what do I need to do to really ensure that happens? Is there something that I have to do differently, or is it just the same old and hope it works? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not the same old, right? Because what got you here is not going to get you to where you want to go. That's extremely important. Yeah. You're playing in different games at the end of the day. So part of that might be, from one perspective, is what I would love to do is definitely map out a call where I can understand your VAs, what they do, more so specifically the product researcher, what their days are like, how are they operating, what guidelines are they operating within, what are their expectations, how can we adjust the specific pay structure to be more incentivized around products and whatnot. So it's like those things are very important, because outside of your aspect as an owner operator, it's also like they're the bloodline to the business.
Alrighty, I will let you go. Thank you for all your time as always.
All right.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Good luck with the kids. Let me know if you got any questions. I'll send over everything to you through Slack, okay?
Perfect.
All
Bye,
right.
Shane.
We'll be in touch. All right, so it's about 4:30 in the afternoon now. Just wrapped out my case study with Whitney. Wrapped up 2 other calls that I did as well. Now I actually have a cancellation at my 5 p.m. slot, so I'm going to take that opportunity right now to get back to certain student messages, and once I get back to those messages, I'm going to do a little bit of deep work, but just a little bit of insight in terms of how it breaks down for these case studies with all my students at the end of the day. These case studies are not kind of like pre-structured or anything like that. The case studies are really just having a regular conversation. And if you were in tune with like any of the mentorship calls I actually have with my students, because I do coach students on a one-on-one level and I do mentor them on a one-on-one level, we have such a good relationship between me and my students that we're really just having a regular conversation, talking about their experience, what they've gone through, and how far they've come in such a short duration of time, and really the transformation that they've been able to see. And that's part of probably one of the most rewarding things of being a coach, is when I get to realize and I get to actually see by talking to these people and showing, where they came from, the point of them just starting to the point where, Whitney got to the point of crossing over multiple 6 figures over an 11-month period, which is absolutely inspiring, especially being a mom of 2 kids as well. So we've got a couple more case studies lined up for this month as well, which I'm super excited to film. I actually have one happening tomorrow also, which I'm super excited for. But really, at the end of the day, like, these case studies are meant to just show people like what's truly possible if you actually dedicate yourself. And by no means necessary do I make any sort of income claims or guarantee that you'll achieve a specific result. By any means necessary, I do not do that. But just to hear the perspective from other people, because maybe sometimes hearing my perspective is one thing, but when you hear it from other people as well, it's completely different other things. So I'm going to get to answering back to student messages here. We don't got too many. And when we answer back to student messages, what will end up happening is I'm going to get doing some deep work. The deep work will actually comprise of 2 parts. I'm going to write out a couple different emails that I want to send to people. And I also will be planning out tomorrow's Master Hours session. So if you don't know what Master Hours is, every single Tuesday inside of the community from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern, for all my mentorship students, I host a weekly live group training call once every single week. And this week's topic is going to be geared around AI and how to be able to scale your Amazon business using AI, so my current mentorship students can have more like updated techniques and updated strategies they can utilize on a day-to-day, so that way they can work smarter and not necessarily so much harder. And inarguably, probably, there's 3 big parts to the program. It's the mentorship, so people having the ability to have access to one-on-one calls with me directly, the ability to have access to the community, so we connect them with a community of like-minded sellers, and then also having access to the Master Hours Vault and the Recording Vault, which is what I showed you guys earlier, is just the plethora of information that's in there that can help people grow their Amazon business with new updated information literally once every single week. And it's probably one of the funnest things that I do on a weekly basis because it's more interactive. I get to answer a lot of people's questions, and I really get to put a lot more of my coaching hat on and really help people understand new updated techniques that I've tested out for my own store. And if it works, I toss it down to them. If it doesn't work, then I'll take the loss and I'll make sure I don't pass it down to them.
And making sure they can make that initial down payment, because that's going to be due today, right? We don't want to send them through the process and they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not committed to making that payment today, right? Or can't do it. So that's the down payment. Then going over like credit score, details, and making sure, you're being thorough with that. Because obviously if they tell you that, they have a 400 credit score, then there's nothing, or they tell you I don't have a credit score because I don't have a US social, then obviously just don't waste your time moving forward.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Return it.
And it's like, why are we, sweating the small stuff, right? Like, think about the big picture. Think about how much more money you could potentially, because if you deny a return request, right, generally speaking, it leads to one of two things: an A to Z claim or a negative feedback. So if it leads to either one of those, that diminishes, obviously, account health metrics, increases the ODR, which means that you get less buy box, which means you make far less sales than what you're making right now.
Okay.
But you're saying I'd rather save $17 than process a return.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Just those things, it's like, don't even think twice about them. Because it's like, you want your money back, take your money, please have a good day. All the best. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, what is the other cost that you may not intentionally realize right now that might come in later that is far greater than $100 label or anything like that? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get it. All right. Cool.
So what I'm explaining in that is saying that you have your handling time to 4 to 5 days, right? Buyers come to Amazon, they look to, okay, when am I going to get this item? 4 to 5 days? No thanks, right? How Amazon calculates the algorithm, how they essentially push out products higher than other products and sellers above other sellers, is based on the actual shipping time. The shipping time includes the handling time, so your 4 to 5 days, plus your shipping time, your transit time, sorry. So that collectively dictates how well a product is going to do and how high it ranks in the search algorithm. Because again, it's all about speed. So if you reduce your handling time to 2 to 3 days, I can almost assure you that you're going to get a lot more sales. Right? There's a specific thing new sellers do. You'll start to recognize this when you get inside of the company. The most common mistake a lot of sellers do is they don't put their handling time. The beginners, they forget about it. They don't see it or whatnot.
Oh yeah, that happened to me.
Right.
When I first started, I forgot to do it.
Right. How quickly did you make your first sale?
I think I started listing in June. My first sale was in July.
Okay, fair. Generally speaking, the point I'm trying to make is that when people miss their handling time, oh my God, Shane, I listed my first product and I got it sold within 24 hours, 48 hours.
Right.
It's because of the handling time. They beat all competition. The product ranks a lot higher because it ships out a lot quicker. So you're right, okay? Risk mitigation. Right? But to what point does one become overly cautious to the point where it starts to lose you sales? Right? That's what you need to realize. You're at that point. I'm telling you from experience, 100%. Right? I'm telling you this, you might be uncomfortable with me telling you this, but it's only because it's going to make you more money. That's all it's going to come down to.
All right.
Okay?
No.
All right. Final call of the day done with Erica. It is now 6:55 p.m. Monday. Day started at 4:30. This is basically how my days go. I'm just going to wrap up, submit all reports, make sure all student questions are answered. I will continue to answer on my phone as I'm relaxing down on the couch. My fiance's got a great meal cooked for me, so I'm just going to take the time to spend it with her, just really disconnect and make sure I'm doing as much as I can to relax and get prepared for tomorrow. So I hope you all enjoyed this vlog. At the end of the day, honestly, I actually enjoyed filming it also. If you want more like this, please comment down below if you want more vlogs. I'm more than happy to film them and bring you guys along with the journey. And the reality is, I mean, this isn't sexy, right? And that's the fun part, is that I'm not in Miami. I'm not in Brickell. I'm not driving a Lambo. I'm not, doing all these big flashy things, but it's the unsexy things that's going to take you places that the sexy things really can't. And that's just part of who I am at the end of the day, is I'm not a big flashy person. I'm someone that, I just am very down to earth, I guess you can say. And I want to give you guys the reality of what it's like to run an Amazon business, to have mentorship calls, and to show you what it takes to be a coach to over 700 Amazon students on a day-to-day basis, and what the mentorship calls are like, and what we're seeing with the success with every single one of our students. And again, I hope you enjoyed this. I know it wasn't the sexiest thing in the world, but I hope you got to enjoy a little bit of the back-end perspective of what it's like to actually be an Amazon coach, to help people scale their brand new Amazon businesses. So with that being said, don't forget to click the subscribe button, hit the post notifications as well, and please comment down below if you want to see more vlogs exactly like this. I'll see you in the next one.